the moon because I keep saying it here, but it seems as if you guys aren't hearing me that there is a decline in Real Madrid, and AC Milan highlighted it yesterday.
John, leave Real
Once
Madrid.
more,
John, leave Real Madrid matter first. You said something about a team in Manchester that they were going to trash. They're going to annihilate. They're going to humiliate.
Okay.
And the reverse was the case. How are you feeling about
it's
that?
football, man.
Okay, it's football.
Simple.
That one is football, but this one is not football.
It's football.
Continue.
Okay. Let's give you the result of yesterday's game before we move on to today's game. To yesterday's game, early kickoff is Slovan Bratislava 1, Dynamo Zagreb 4. Okay, that game ended 4 goes to 1-4, and Dynamo Zagreb PSV 4. Girona is not doing well. Girona 0. That game they ended 4-0 for Girona. What is wrong with Girona this season? All this their first year has faded away. Now they are being trashed everywhere, even in the La Liga and in the Champions League. Okay, the other games that are happening from 9 p.m. is Dortmund 1, Sturm Graz 0. They actually try. Celtic 3, RB Leipzig 1, Real Madrid 1, AC Milan 3, Leo 1, Juventus 1, Liverpool 4, Bayer Leverkusen 0, Sporting Lisbon 4, Manchester City 1, and Bologna 0, Monaco 1. That's all the results for yesterday's Champions League. Okay, let's move on to the big one first. It's Real Madrid versus AC Milan. That game was a surprise. It was a surprise for me. I was surprised because I was expecting Real Madrid to win that game. They reversed to their last year's formation 4-4-2 because Rodrigo was on the bench because he was injured. He came back, but he was on the bench. But they were playing Vinicius and Mbappe up front with Jude coming into the attack with them. But they missed a whole lot of chances. But Milan finished up their chances and won that game 3-1.
Fantastic results. Look at that goal from Tijani Reinders. That was the icing on top of the cake for me. Fantastic build-up play. You saw it. Real Madrid were outpaced. Real Madrid were outgunned. Real Madrid were, bereft of ideas going forward. And at the end of the day, even with the goal that was ruled off, for offside, there was no other going forward intent from them. Rather, we saw a couple of players, Vini winking at Vini, complaining and whining to the referee and stuff like that. I keep saying it and I keep saying it that Real Madrid need to go back and look at that defense. And look at that defense categorically. Look at the fullbacks, look at the defense, and then come forward and solve the quagmire of Vini, Mbappe, Rodrigo. Until they solve that quagmire, they are not ready to do anything this season.
It's not working.
It's not working. Clearly, we saw it yesterday. Clearly, it wasn't working.
The attack might not be working for John, but it's working to some extent. But the defense, you've seen a couple of players go on injuries. You've seen them. I always say this. I know John will say about the defense, yes, but I support him.
Apart from Carvajal, everybody played.
Not really. This guy makes unnecessary decisions, and a decision always comes back to bite the team in the ass. You get that's talking about what's the name? Militao. He comes back to bite the team, and I just asked myself, why would this guy keep playing? Why don't you have a replacement? There's players on the bench that could come in and play the game. You're not.
Militao is their first team centre back. You cannot. Why would you replace him?
All of last season he was not available.
He was injured. So that one
and
is
they were
different.
keeping clean sheets.
That one is different.
Now he's keeping clean sheets, and he was not available. Now he's available, and the team is considering careless goals. You get, so I'm believing that in the defense line they could have done a revamp. Maybe I'm not saying take up everybody, but add some players in. And there's somebody was supposed to add defenders in due to the players that left last season. But yet you look at the bench, there's no proper replacement for any defender that goes on injury this season.
Okay, they decided not to buy defenders this season, John. So I don't think they were actually sure that Militao is going to be back and Rodriguez is always going to be there. So I don't think, and I think Alaba is coming back pretty soon. So they have a quality defensive. But if you look at that game generally, John, what is wrong with Real Madrid?
It's crazy. If you go back and you look at that match, you are going to see that for me, and I know everything I'm going to say not so as a counter, but I don't care. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say it. Real Madrid lacked real intent going forward. No doubt. Real Madrid lacked real intent going forward. And then in defending, Real Madrid were not as composed as that AC Milan back four. You have to give it to them. You saw them when they were fighting and jostling for set pieces, when they were defending, when they were moving forward. That defense is solid. And for everything also said about Fonseca yesterday, Clearly, Ancelotti had no answer for him yesterday. Simple. So Real Madrid need to go back to the drawing board and have a rethink of the way they play. We saw Camavinga in his full light yesterday. We saw a couple of other players in their full light. We saw Vasquez, but still, he didn't day yesterday, and that's just the whole thing. I'm going to cap it up with he didn't day. And this Real Madrid side that he didn't day, they've been surviving for last season, and this season everybody is catching them out of their guard.
So do you think that AC Milan was good now? So or Real Madrid are actually bad? Because like how can you concede in Bernabeu, you consider 3 against AC Milan and consider 7 goals in 2 games at home? I don't think it's actually necessary for somebody that wants to win the Champions League and win the league.
Well, look at it. I'm not going to say, because John said I have a counter for everything. I think Paulo yesterday did his homework, did a good job. They say when you win game, you're a good tactician. When you lose, you get a CB. So he didn't day for Real Madrid yesterday. Let's agree to that. Let's agree to disagree that he didn't day. But looking forward, I think they lacked what's called proper replacement in midfield. You get Tchouaméni has not been the player we all expected him to be for the Real Madrid side. Camavinga starting off the bench was not the proper mix for players to. It was not the proper. I wouldn't say okay. Ancelotti is a smart guy, but Camavinga starting off the bench was not just the proper combination to play against an AC Milan side. Jude Bellingham starting up from the flanks. You play the 4-4-2 flat. I believe you used to play in the midfield. You used to play 4-4-2 diamond. Even if it's the 4-4-2 flat, it looks like. But when they start on paper, that's what it is on paper. But what it is on the pitch is Jude Bellingham driving into the midfield in front of Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Madrid. But yesterday he was just up there in the flanks. It was maybe whenever he runs diagonal, there's nobody making the runs for him, and there was no forward passes. I think it was this same thing they did with what's it called now, Pelo, Man United Pelo, where they sent Park Song to be on Pelo, and he didn't make any forward passes in that match. I think that was 2007 Champions League, Man United AC Milan. I think that was the same thing that happened today. He was sending off a player to be on Luka Modric and maybe a Valverde, because if these players don't handle the midfield well, Jude Bellingham and cannot supply the passes forward, and I think that's just where they won the game. They just sent players to kind of cut off the smart plays on the Real Madrid midfield.
Okay, John, that game ended 3-1. We can stay on this Real Madrid game because it was a surprising result. I want to talk about Morata, because Morata came in and he was everywhere for this AC Milan team.
And he
scored the rebound. I think Morata, was he coming back to show them we push you and let me go? Because the way he played yesterday, I've not even seen him play like that in a very, very long time.
It's a big game, and key moments call for key players, and it's a big game. So, I think Morata just wanted to show that his face show and his shoe shine. Simple. Big performance, big matches. Morata showed up, he got in on the goals, and that's that. So, I don't think there's any ill intentions or whatever there. He's been at Madrid, he's been all over Europe. So I don't think there's any point in time we are going to say that he will spoil his legacy at Real Madrid, because he's a journeyman in football.
He's a journeyman in football. He's been everywhere.
He's been everywhere.
Chelsea, Juventus. That guy has been everywhere.
He meant to play for Man City.
He meant to play for Rangers International. Okay, that game ended 3-1 in favor of Milan. AC Milan won that game comfortably. It was a surprising result for everyone, but Real Madrid need to go back to see what is wrong with them and see if they are going to fix up, because let's see what happens with them. Okay, let's move on to the next game. The new Sir Alex Ferguson coming to England November 11th. His dress rehearsal happened yesterday against the best team in England, and he came up on top, winning that game 4-1. Now, the question is, can he do the same with Manchester United when it comes to England?
We shall see.
We shall see. Let's hold that thought. Hold it.
Now December.
November.
No, not be him coming back. That the Manchester derby.
Okay.
Now December. So they think out. December will get the answer.
Okay, that game ended 4-1. No, so if you look at that, I won't start with John, because John is a City fan. But let me start.
John has given his answer.
Yeah.
It is football.
Okay, if you look at that game, they actually did well. Man City scored first, but somehow they are not actually leaking goals this season too much. I don't know why. It's unlike Pep. This is the first time they are conceding 4 in the Champions League. I think since 2008. It's a very, very long time. This is the first time I think Pep is losing 3 games in a row since he's been a City manager. So what is wrong with Manchester City? Do you think that Pep is losing it?
Pep is not losing it. It's just that when you look at the team he's being up to, everybody, whenever you get a good result, whenever you're a good coach, everybody just wants to stop you at some point. Everybody wants to be against you. It seems you're the mountain everybody needs to climb. You're the Everest everybody needs to climb and put their stamp on the head that, oh, we've climbed this mountain, we've gotten a result against this person, we can go on to do the next big thing. I look at the defense line, you say, okay, it's good the way they played, but the defense line was not having it. I wasn't happy with the defense line for me. With the defense line not properly mixed, it was like we want to keep playing these young players because we have injury crisis. If you had proper players on the bench, you could have at least gone into this game with a proper win. So it was from the defense. I think Man City lost it from the defense. Not really in the midfield, because the midfield had everybody in the midfield. They had everybody. When I say everybody, Kevin has not been available for a period of time now. But when you have everybody in the midfield and yet they are not they are conscious of the defense line not doing their job properly, they'll have that fear of going forward and leaving the defense line to do the job. And I think last night, the defenders didn't kind of live up to expectation.
John, what happened to your team? Tell us. Tell us something.
I
The
will
only
just
first two teams in there, the only two first team players in that defense was maybe Guardol and Akoji.
yeah,
The rest of the other two, Rico Lewis has been. He was pitted to at least replace Kawaka. Now we know that as this Man City team, nobody will replace Kawaka from the bench.
Just tell me something. Tell me something about your team yesterday.
I don't need to tell you anything. The stats speak for themselves. If you saw that game, and City fielded a young centre half in the side.
Yes, I saw
alongside
that.
Akonji.
But Ake was on the bench. Why didn't he start Ake?
It's if you ask me who I go ask, at the end of the day,
Okay,
I
now,
felt
who
that
you ask?
Vadio should have been playing alongside Akonji.
That's what I was
Yes, the
thinking
proper
then
left
you
back
have-
you guys have.
You have somebody else. Please, man, don't even go there. Gradio should be playing in the centre half, and then somebody else should play on that left fullback position. But that was not the case. And then even if you want to play him in that position, there's an Ake on the bench. You can play in that place. So for me, I think City is in this phase where the depth has been depleted, and so there's not enough quality players in those positions. And then the team have to make do.
Yeah, I think Pep is
Simple.
stubborn. I think that's where Arteta learned it from. These coaches are stubborn. You see something is wrong with your team. You need a striker. You need this one. But no, you will not buy a thing they can do
The
magic.
question yesterday wasn't a question of a striker. It was a question of competent replacement in defense.
And number two, let's be frank. Sometimes, even if you have your whole squad available, you just lose games. You can't explain it, but you just
Not
lose games.
this one yesterday.
Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FN Sports, and we have a whole lot of comments here about this Champions League game, because yesterday it was crazy.
It was a firecracker.
It was a firecracker. Real
It was a
Madrid losing at the
surprise
Bernabeu. City losing 4-1 to our new Sir Alex Ferguson that is coming to Manchester. Ruben Amorim. So a whole lot of it. So I'm going to read some
End
of the
of an
comments.
era all over again.
Yes. So I'm going to stay on that. Before I want to ask a question. Before that, let me read some comments here on our YouTube channel. And Juventus 07 is saying Real Madrid was exposed. They have been exposed since Barcelona. The
Since Lille.
funnest part is that last season they concede goal, but somehow they come back to win games, and it kept happening last season. They will be down 2-1, somehow they will come back and win games. So, but let's see what happens to them. But let me read some of the comments again. And like let's to be saying they don't shock us. So, John, can you see what we are obviously going home trophyless? Okay, John,
That
can you
is
see that we are obviously going home trophyless?
They are City fans. And I'm going to talk to your man. He doesn't want to
way,
believe.
we are
He
not
will
going on
believe.
trophyless.
This seems to be coming to an end of
An era.
of a reign of
Is
era.
it Ten Hag was right?
Losing 2 games back to back, not 2 games, actually 3 games back to back. Okay, Juventus 07 is saying without Rodri, it's a problem for City. I think they need Rodri back somehow. He's also saying Real Madrid should look at their defense. Okay, Emmanuel Leo, welcome to the show. Emmanuel Leo is saying, good morning, guys. Let's start by analyzing Real Madrid transfer policy. They don't buy strategically. Most of the time, they just buy for show of Galacticos. You bought Mbappe now. The coach is confused.
Thank you.
So Juve 07 is saying if Roland didn't save that, if Lauren didn't save that, they would have considered more than 3 goals. And Eclipse Obi is saying, I said it earlier that Madrid is repeating the era of multi superstars with no trophy. Milan was intentional about beating Madrid. Milan was composed, attacking Madrid boldly, matching them equally. Okay, then and I play to Obi is also saying Madrid and City game shock me die. I no feel lie. Leo Emmanuel is saying, okay, Ancelotti ever since Mbappe arrived changed his style of play and the traditional 4-3-3 to 4-3-1-2 in order to accommodate his stars. Huh? Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, Mr. Cool Moment, welcome to the show. I can see you. Okay, people are dropping comments. They couldn't believe that game yesterday. And let's stay with the Sporting Lisbon and Manchester City. I want to ask a question because if you look at when before Ten Hag came to Manchester United, we could see his style of play at Ajax. We could see he never had a player. He never bought a player like Casemiro, for example. He was playing De Jong as almost like his as a defensive midfielder that was controlling his midfield for him. He was playing slick players. He came to Manchester United and suddenly something
as well,
in the midfield something came over him and he changed his style. Now, if you look at Ruben Amorim, he plays 3-4-3. That's what he's actually played yesterday. If he comes to Manchester United, will he change his style? That's another problem. We have to really adapt to the four at the back, or will he just be changing his style?
For me, the main thing is Ten Hag got it all wrong when he came to Manchester United and changed his style. Because the mission, the whole point of him coming to Manchester United was to take that template that was working at Ajax and bring it to Manchester United and fix it in Manchester United.
The template's no
but
more.
The templates, he didn't
even.
No, you can't tell me he did it in his first season.
That template was what made
He
Man United
did not
fans.
do it
In
the first season. He did not do it in the first season. That template never worked at Manchester United.
That is why he
never did it. He never implemented it till tomorrow. Because once he came into Manchester United, it was a consistent story of compromise over compromise to please everybody, at the detriment of the job he was brought in to do. And we said it that at least when you have a certain manager that plays a certain way, at least integrity says stick to your guns. Ateta came in and said he wants to build for the back. For about 2 seasons or so, they were conceding left, right, center till they finally got it solved. And they fixed it and they built upon that in the midfield and going forward. But this man has never gotten it fundamentally right with the way he wants to play, with the style he played at Ajax. And then you can't also give him 100% of the blame because the key people he needed to bring in to implement, they never got for him at the end of the day. So, if Amorim is going to come to Manchester United, I'll tell you, Baba, this charm that is working for you now. They say that an old woman never forgets her favorite dance step. Baba, this dance step way they use now, where everybody they hype you. If you come Manchester United, change them. Oh yeah.
Whenever John is talking about Manchester United, he's always this angry. I don't know where the anger is coming from.
Let's
the first season for Ten Hag, he used the template. It was working to some extent. But you forget that this is Eredivisie. That same template that worked in Ajax in 2019. Remember, he used that template against Tottenham Hotspur in Champions League semi-finals. What happened?
They lost in just 9 minutes. That was
you can't put that down to the template. No.
Now he brought that template.
You can't put that down to the template. I don't know why you are angry. You like looking for pocket aberrations to build a principle upon, and that template does not
if you like bring law book textbook when you speak grammar for
you like looking out for look wonders.
He work, we say no work. He work, I be no work.
He work, I
be no work.
He work.
The first season, the template day, I be no day.
He no day.
He did. If you say it didn't day, that's your business. That first season. See, man, you not supposed now. Man, you fans supposed to talk about this thing. First season, the template day. The Ajax built from the start day, but they can't say goalkeeper now be the problem. Abi? Then they change goalkeeper second season. They come out the game, bring in who? The template didn't day in your eye because the game cannot build from the back according to Man United fans, so they had to let him go. Now next season they brought in.
Who else left in that first season?
Plenty people come out.
Thank you.
Call names.
CR7 left in that first season. And what happened the next season? If you go back and look at that first season,
calm down,
if you go back and look at that first season, and you look at the goals scored and goal chances created by CR7's number alone, gave Manchester United half of the points they had on the table that season. Go back and check the stats. Go back and check the stats.
I'm not checking any stats because now CR7 9 defend. Now CR7 9 increase the chance. Now CR7 now score. Now only be 11 players for the pitch. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said something about CR7's presence in the team, but nobody's looking into that fact already. So CR7 now in defense, CR7 now attack, CR7 now score, CR7 now do every work. I agree with you, but I'm just saying the template worked to some extent in the first season. In the second season, many of the players left. You saw the likes of Van der Beek leaving. Because wait, they talk say in confidence level has been depleted. This was the player they brought in from Ajax to come and do the work under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come and replace Bruno Fernandes. But he was on the bench with seat belts on.
Okay.
Like someone that was prepared for takeoff. He was on the bench with seat belts on, and he wasn't. He wasn't given the proper match. So he lost his confidence. Same thing that happened to Calvin Phillips. These players lose their confidence. You can't expect them to come into a game and change the narrative of the game.
See the coach.
What made them lose their confidence
Ole
in the
Gunnar
first
Solskjaer.
place?
Ole Gunnar. I won't blame Van der Beek.
What
I
made
won't
them
blame
lose
Ten
their
Hag for Ole Gunnar
confidence in the
Solskjaer.
first place?
It's the club they came to. The player they are about to replace is better than them.
Ruben now is coming to Manchester United.
So now with Ruben coming into Manchester United, you get people say he will change the fourth. I still say this. LVG played a back three at Manchester United. LVG Luis Van Gaal played a back three. That was where we know that what's it called? Ashley Young can play left back and Valencia can play right back because he converted them to full backs. He was playing a back three. After him, this guy came in, Murillo came in and started playing what's it called? Ashley Young and Valencia as fullbacks because now LBG converts them. They were wingers from Ferguson side. They were wingers before Ferguson time from their former club. They were wingers at Alex Van Gaal's period. They were converted to fullbacks with Droho and whoever blind playing in centre half. You get so LBG played the back three. His record didn't speak up for him because he was a pro winner before he came to Man United. His record, so this man is coming to Man United. We are not expecting him to change to a back four. He will still play a back three, but I'm still saying this formation on paper is different because if you look at the game yesterday, whenever they lose the ball to Man City, you will see a proper back four. Whenever they are on the ball, you see a back three. You get with some players drawing into midfield and some players. The thing is what they call tactical flexibility. When you're on the ball, this is what is happening. When you are off the ball, this is what is happening. When you are making this run, this is what is happening on the formation. So in the formation, there was what they call tactical flexibility during the match. So him coming to Man United, if the players could adapt to what he plays in the first 6 months, then it's a good job. It's a good job for him. If the players are not willing to adapt, then I think Man United at this time should do a massive or total. I'm not even saying massive player.
I said it at the beginning of the season. Thank you for coming. Bye bye. Out. Okay. Straight up, everybody.
The hat-trick hero in that game. What do you make of him?
2 penalties. Come on, man.
He's still a hat-trick.
2 penalties.
Wait, no.
2 penalties.
John,
we said this last season. We said it last season about Palmer. We were saying Palmer out of his 20-something goals, he was 11 penalties, and then only Watkins out of his 20-something goals, he didn't have any penalties,
and you didn't give him credit for
it. He was a striker. You discredited Palmer's goals. So don't come in here now and come and validate your chorus.
I discredited Palmer's goals.
I discredited
Palmer's goals while you were singing in praises. Now continue to sing the praises of scoring penalties in the game while I continue to discredit the penalties. For Victor Gyökeres, if you look at his numbers so far this season, minus the penalties he scored, he has more goals in all competitions than the man he was facing, the man across field from him.
I'm speaking to a match. I'm not speaking to his season.
So I'm just saying, I'm speaking to a match and a season.
It's a match and 2 penalties and that's it. Simple and short.
2 penalties, 1 goal, 4 chances created. 4 chances created that led to assists from other people. You get so let's take off the 2 penalties, take away that they didn't get those penalties. Because it was a clear-cut run on goal. If you hadn't fouled him in the post 18, it would have been a goal for him or maybe a shot off target. You never know. It's a big hypothetical now. He would have been a goal or a shot off target or maybe a goalkeeper save. But you fouled him and he got his penalties. I'm not saying when we're talking about the other player you mentioned earlier, I said other players
Palmer.
His name. Other players committed the foul. The foul was on other players, maybe a Nicholas Jackson, a Noni Madueke, a Christopher Nkunku. A foul was committed on them, and he comes in to take the penalty. The foul was committed on Victor himself. So he takes the penalty. I can vindicate him for that because he was clear on goal. You get? But when we're talking about the same person, Cole Palmer, we put up his numbers together with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, and we said Bruno Fernandes was scoring penalties, and everybody criticized Bruno for scoring penalties. Now Bruno is scoring pure goals, and Papa is scoring penalties, and you're all singing him praises, you're all singing him hypes.
Okay, Gigares scored 3 goals in that game to win.
Three worthy goals, penalty or not,
penalty.
3 worthy goals.
Okay, let's see some of the comments on our YouTube channel. Samuel Johnson, welcome to the show. Madrid should either get a right back or stop playing Lucas Vazquez there. Put either Mbappe or Vinicius on the bench. Both can't play together. It's obvious.
Thank you.
He's saying City time. He's also saying, Samuel is also saying City time is over. Over injury or no injuries. Okay, City time is over. Injuries or no injuries. The quality in their team is way off the pace compared to the City we used to know. And Juventus 07 is saying Gigares showed yesterday what Haaland is lacking. Yes, Haaland actually missed a penalty yesterday. Then he's also saying Juventus 07 is also saying when Ruben Amorim will be arriving, Manchester United should be patient with him. They shouldn't expect better football from starting. The manager is coming at mid-season and he didn't get pre-season also.
Please pause that comment. Read it back to my United fans.
They should have to be patient with him.
See, for me, I would say all my United fans should sign a contract of giving this man 5 years.
5 what?
No, I'm not saying because before they start singing the Amorim out chant. You get? I'm not even whether they see results or they see results. They should all see. It's not some. It's not some. All.
Manchester United.
Let me tell you.
If by end of season they are not in Europe,
leave
Europe this year.
They will start singing that song. Let's be watching.
Okay, they will start singing the song. So I'm saying they should give every Man United fan. This is the message to Man United fan. That comment, maybe you don't understand the comment. Leave Amorim to stay for like 3 years and more, maybe 5 years. If you guys don't see anything, you cannot start singing the ad. All of you will sign contract because now all of them are sacked and hard. Plus the fan base, plus the players, plus everybody. Now all of them are sacked and hard. Now all of them are sacked Murillo. Now all of them are sacked. I think it was under Murillo they were singing Glazers out. Now it's no more Glazers. Let's say it's the Ineos team. After 5 years, and I don't sing Amorim out. Not gonna sing Ineos out.
I think they will give him enough time. He's a young boy. He's just in his 30s.
So they will give the board giving enough time.
Even
the Manchester United fans are not that.
It doesn't matter.
It's a fine balance because if general sentiment is negative, there's nothing the board can do. They will take an action.
Let me give you an example. The first tweet of Arteta, Arsenal fans were furious.
Of course, no doubt.
The board decided to stay.
Arteta was still telling them it was a good season.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying.
It was not saying end of era.
Calm down now.
Okay, let's move on to the next
game. The era said don't use your hand. Even when they have no end up.
Let's move to the next game. It's Liverpool won that game against Bayer Leverkusen 4-0.
As predicted.
And the first time was 0-0. In the second half, 60th minutes, Liverpool moved to gear 10. Not even gear 2.
Oyoma Diaz
moved to gear 10 and Diaz scored a hat-trick to win that game. Salah got a 2 assists. They won that game 4-1, John.
You know, fantastic football. You know, I saw a Leverkusen side that was bereft of ideas. I saw a flabbergasted and bamboozled Xabi Alonso sitting on the sideline, clueless as to what to do to turn the fate of his team around. And I said, you see this Liverpool, you sleep on this Liverpool, you are done. Simple.
Yeah, everybody actually sleeping
you on sleep on Liverpool, you are done. Simple.
The thing is, let's be honest. The thing is, what happened in that game was around the 70th minute. Now Leverkusen they switched to gear 10. But it comes like I said before that time, Liverpool first them switch. So they couldn't recover from it because getting a goal in the 61st minute and getting another goal, but I was like quick succession, getting a goal from Diaz, then Cody, slow motion Cody replied again, and it was now 2 goals up. Leverkusen, before they could put it into gear 5, Liverpool was already in gear 15. So it was like they were kind of playing catch up. But in the first half, it was pure. Let's say it was a good game, a balanced game, and I think the mistake for Alonso was he didn't come into that game with the intention of sealing it out in the first half. He came into the game with the intention of let's continue with what we did last season, hold on our players, hold on the exposure, so we can concede and so we don't concede much goals. And I think coming into that second half with that firepower, Liverpool were more, or perhaps we were more ready for the firepower and we were more ready for the counter attack. And you see that those goals from Diaz was a clear-cut run from Salah and a supply. I think it was a good game for Salah so far.
Fantastic game for Diaz and Salah. You know, one thing that offended me yesterday was, you know, the way they kept moving the ball around and nobody wanted to take initiative and go forward. That's one thing that offended me because I also saw it again in the game against in the other game players were just in PSV game. Players were just moving the ball around and nobody taking initiative to go forward. And you saw the passes, more passes on one side than on the other side, but none of them were forward passes.
Okay, that game ended 4-0. Liverpool is actually doing very well in this season. Apart from that Nottingham Forest loss they had at Anfield, they have won almost all their games this season. So Slot is actually doing well, and kudos to him picking up this Liverpool side and changing their mentality, because if you look at the last games for club, he is saying that the team is drained, he is tired. I think he showed in the way the team he was playing, but I think they needed that change.
When you change the whole midfielders in one season.
And
You know,
it
that's
doesn't really matter
another
though.
thing. That's
I
another
think
thing that
it's the
we
energy.
don't really talk enough about.
So
Not the energy,
Scott,
because when you change a whole setup in halfway through the season, it gives a different personality to a team on the side of the
he is the first time in England and he is coaching. That's why I'm hoping that Ruben Amorim does well, because Slot is actually coming from the same place Ten Hag came from. And he took this pressure very well, and he's doing well. He doesn't even bother about anybody. The way he's addressing the press, he's always there talking to the press, telling them the right things to say. Ten Hag wasn't saying the right things. That's part of things that cost him. But let's see what Ruben is going to be doing when he comes to Manchester United this month. On the 11th, he's going to be taking on Manchester United. Okay. I have one more comment here on our YouTube, and he say Juventus 07 is saying pressure while managing clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United is huge as compared to others. Samuel Johnson is saying for Leverkusen, for Bayer Leverkusen, form is temporal but class is permanent. Liverpool is class, but Leverkusen is form, and at the moment at the moment they are back to their level. Oh, okay. He was thinking that it probably is the one-off season. Probably let's see what Alonso is actually doing a good job there. Okay, let's move back to other games that happened in the Champions League. The Champions League. Okay, let's talk about Juventus and Leo.
Really, the Giants players, the Leo.
They got another 1 point against Juventus. What do you make of that game?
Well, we said that the Giants players, we saw Juventus coming into the 60th minute to get an equalizer, getting a goal. Jonathan David again getting a goal. I think it's just the man for this Champions League for Leo, because he's always carried the team. He's always gotten goals that helps the team to win. Because against Juventus, those goals were just not enough, and Juventus kind of knows how to close up gap. I think for Juventus now, their beating run continues.
Okay, John, Dortmund just got one goal against Storm Graz. It was a surprise. Everyone was thinking it was going to be a blowout, but it just one goal in it.
You know, and that just goes to tell you to a certain degree that Dortmund are not really at their full powers right now, because on a normal day it should have been a blowout. But
when would they be on their full powers?
When you keep selling and decimating your team every season.
They were on their full power last season.
Where did they finish in their league?
Final. Champions League final.
Okay, that game against Dortmund ended 1-0, just one goal in that game. Okay, let's move on to today's game. But before we move on to today's game, you can ask us and tell us what you think about yesterday's game. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us what you think about yesterday's game, especially the Madrid game. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
It's Bishop from Transekulu.
Okay, Bishop, what is your contribution about yesterday's game?
Honestly, to be honest, this season hasn't been fair to me. I understand, as a football lover. Not like I haven't seen good games, but for my team, from Man U, my team, to Madrid, my team, honestly, you guys can pity me. What is Madrid doing to me like this? We are trying to get the Man U, you are Madrid, all my teams, what is going on? This anything in a Pombaru, anybody in a Pombaru. Honestly, it was a good game. I saw the game. I saw the new incoming Man U coach. I saw what he did with City. Honestly, even the Madrid and that's what I watched, Madrid and Sporting. Even the two games, it did not reflect the outcome. City played well. I watched the game. He did his thing. Understand? They lost. Even Madrid, yes, some shots, some good games from Mbappe. Honestly, they were like unfortunate to getting some goals. But I don't know when you work on them. Even tend to say that I find it difficult now to score goals after the match when he's agreeing. But I don't know. Maybe the loss of some of these players are affecting his team. Ruben, KDB, and some other players. And then even Ake, the back has been differently. Understand? Because losing 3 games in a row, I can't remember when the last time it happened. Understand? I can't remember.
Yes.
Even this 4-1, hey, Haaland has to miss the penalty. Honestly, I think it's a hard time now for Pep. I think it's a hard time. And John, are you there?
Of course.
I sympathize with you. Even you sympathize.
A sympathy season.
Thank you very much.
Everything good to you and me also. Sympathize with ourselves.
All right, thank you.
Let's see that the coach of sport we should bring the same
All
to United.
right.
And also build the game. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Sympathy season. You guys
Sympathy
want to
season.
sympathize.
Both of you should be sympathizing with each other. 0706 048 5853. Okay, let's move on to today's fixtures. Today's fixtures is, I'll give you the fixtures and we'll probably talk about a few of the games. But before we do that, let's take one or two calls before we go to today's fixtures. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is AI calling from.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
Please, when you call us, please turn down the volume of your radio set or move away from your radio set. I can hear the feedback here. We can all hear the feedback here in the studio. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, my name is Udoye, calling from my point state.
Okay, what is your contribution about yesterday's game?
It was a crazy Champions League night, a really crazy one. Man City losing 4-1 and Real Madrid losing 3-1. Wow. It's a good one, but I totally agree with John and also in the area when they said that Manchester United fans should sign a contract with with Amorim, at least a 3 years contract.
5 years.
Because
25.
5 years. Because Manchester United is killing, they are killing coaches. They are destroying coaches. Imagine, how can you tell me that Louis Van Gaal is not a good coach? Louis Van Gaal is not a good coach. Or is it Jose Mourinho that is not a good coach? But something is wrong with the system at Manchester United. They are ignoring that part in their setup. And it keeps destroying any good thing that is coming. Look at what Amorim did yesterday. Fantastic. But then, when he comes into Manchester United now, they will want to suppress him. We are a big club, you know. You have to do our bidding. Forgetting that you are calling this man to come and help you.
Yes.
To come and save you. You are forgetting that part. That was what they did to Ten Hag. And they made Ten Hag to develop low self-esteem at Manchester United. Exactly. They made him develop that low self-esteem. Imagine when Ten Hag was sacked. He was hiding. He was, you know, as if the world is coming to an end. And the way coaches job at the job at Manchester United gives them that confidence that we are organ, we want to control. Look at Amorim now. He has been hired not as a manager but as a head coach. You won't have a say in certain things.
Okay.
I agree, fine. Let him grow into becoming a manager. Fine, it is good. Some clubs do that. But then, don't subject the man to your policies, what you want. Imagine if Amorim bench an English-born player.
Like Marcus Rashford.
United. They can't take it. They will disturb you and give you trouble. You substitute an English-born player and bring in another, they will give you trouble at Manchester United.
Okay.
And at 14, he has players that he will use to achieve what he wants. Does Manchester United have such players?
You don't have
that three at the back and go forward and block your midfield. Do they have such players at Manchester United?
Okay.
If he says that some of the players should go, and then the press start blocking him, what will be the outcome?
Okay,
What are the things that they need to look into at Manchester United?
Thank you very much. We have to let you get
valid points all around.
Exactly, valid points. So let's move on to today's game. Today's game is Shakhtar Donetsk versus Young Boys Club Brugge versus Aston Villa, Feyenoord versus RB Salzburg, PSG versus Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich versus Benfica, Sparta Prague versus Brest, Sevilla Vesda versus Barcelona, Inter Milan versus Arsenal, and Stuttgart versus Atlanta. Okay, before we move on to Inter versus Arsenal, because I think that's the biggest game for today. Let's.
No.
Oh, I agree with that. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, let's
Good
know.
morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Ruben. I'm calling from Liverpool.
Okay, Ruben, now what is your contribution for yesterday's game?
Yes. Yesterday I was telling people that Anfield is not a welcome ground for any visitor. And some were arguing with me. I told him that a Premier League that has won 6 Champions League, you know, it's not easy to come to Anfield. You see, Nottingham Forest. Oh, who knows Nottingham Forest? It's just they just come and do just anyhow. Come on, you know, Premier League now they like to give one kind just to break a record. See, yesterday Liverpool they were monitoring Leverkusen. They doing crack at the second half. But the ball has seen of course. You know, Liverpool, they have a lot of things. If you block this way, they open this way. Block this way, they open this way. We have not signed any player this season.
Yes.
We only signed an injured player. But this maybe from January, we still fortify that team to make it hard. You know?
Yes.
Because an slot is going to look some places who need to be fortified, then bring some players, because that right side of Salah needs to be adjusted, adding just kind of player that will be helping him. Then in the defense line, we need to also bring another left-sided central defender, because we are only managing all the defenders we have there, right defenders, Konate, Van Dijk, you know. We need to bring defender and one defensive midfielder, maybe that guy. We'll bring him back to boost that midfield. So we are going to do better. You know, it's not that we are doing better, but we are going to do better.
Okay.
For those who are saying Bishop will explain tire. He will explain tire. Do you know this guy, Amorim is coming. He's doing well. But is Amorim coming with a Sporting Lisbon player to Manchester United?
No.
Manchester United player is back to Sporting Lisbon. The same thing, just like what Udoya from Amorim said. If they don't give him 5 years contract, so that I give him time to rebuild, it's going to be the same story. If he start to fail with this kind of player, player that he's having now, he's going to fail again and they're going to sack him.
Thank you
It's
very
going to
much.
be the same story.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to today's game. Today's game, Inter Milan and Arsenal. What do you make of that game? Odegaard is back. I don't know if he's going to be starting this game, but he is back from injury. Rice didn't travel with the squad because of a few issues, so he stayed back in England. But if you look at that game, do you think that Arsenal have enough power to be winning Inter Milan? They are going away to the San Siro.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because Arsenal can match Inter Milan's firepower right now. At least nobody on that team can match Lautaro Martinez in his day, and talk less of a couple of other players within that side. But you know, you don't need to match somebody fire for fire to win a game.
You need to take your chances.
You need to take your chances.
Just like AC Milan did.
Yeah, if you look at the Sparta,
What's called Tomiyasu, Calafiori, Kenneth, Denny, there's free to play for Arsenal. Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Calafiori this season. He's one of those players. He's one of those top players to play for Arsenal, and they are not available. Declan Rice and Odegaard, creative forces, are not available to play the game. The driving force and the creative force are not available to play the game in midfield. How are they going to survive the power of the Inter Milan midfield? That's the big question. Not just the attack, because everybody said Lautaro Martinez. You send a Saliba to be on Lautaro Martinez all game, he's going to make him shake. You get, but this guy they brought in from Atlanta that came into the midfield, you bring him into that game, and you don't have a credible player to bench him, or you don't have a credible player to play against him in midfield. Even as I said this yesterday, and everybody was looking at me. Even if the Arsenal have the complete setup to play against Inter Milan in this game, in this particular game, they will not come out with a win.
I disagree. If Arteta is not going to be pig-headed today and is going to play Partey in midfield, Partey is going to be a controlling force in that midfield. And once you control the midfield, it's now binary on whether you have the striker to finish up the chances.
Your
Like,
prediction for that game?
like I
That's
said,
what
even
it
if you
is.
play Partey in midfield and play every other person in their position against Inter Milan, they won't get a result.
Okay.
Because you're looking at what's it called, Luther Martinez. We're not talking about the Turan.
Okay, let's get your prediction for that game. Let's see.
I'm seeing this person win 2-1. Inter Milan 2-1.
Inter to win with 2-1.
Arsenal win or draw.
Arsenal win or draw. Okay, let's move on to another big game. Is PSG and Atletico Madrid. In this Champions League, Atletico Madrid have not done well. If you look at their results, they lost to even Leo. They have been losing games. If you look at the 3 games they are playing in Champions, they won 1 and lost 2, so they have not actually been doing well. But against PSG, they lost last game against Arsenal. Do you think that in this game, what do you think that Atletico can surprise that they are going away to PSG? They are going to France.
I think Atletico won't be scared of Paris Saint-Germain. I think Atletico have what it takes to win that match. No doubt. They have what it takes to
What do
win
you,
the
what do you
match.
think that
Like,
game that happen?
I've seen Atletico struggle whenever they travel to France. You get, that's one thing I always say. I've seen Atletico Madrid travel to France and struggle. So I think the struggle continues.
The struggle
Their
continues.
struggle continues. They get a result in this game, and it's kudos to their resilience, their play, their tactical and what's it called, genius. It's kudos to them. But if they get it, that's if they get a result. But I'm seeing them struggle in this game, and PSG coming up top.
PSG to come out on top in this game. Okay, let's move on to Bayern Munich and Benfica. Bayern Munich is playing, what's his name? Company have not actually done well in this Champions League. He's unbeaten in his Bundesliga, but when it comes to Champions League, he has lost few games, 2 games actually, won 1 and lost 2. But if you look at they are taking on Benfica and they are playing at home, do you think that Company can turn this ship around?
The ship doesn't need turning around. It just needs to pick up points, and the sooner the better. So, and what better game to pick up points than at home at the Allianz Arena against a Benfica that are struggling in their league? So it's all there for him to take. Go there, get your 3 points, and move up the table.
Not so.
Benfica would always want to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Now we said this against Company in the last Champions League game when they played, and everybody was like they were going to run the energy, everything, and all of that. But you saw what happened in that game, and a couple of games they've lost this season. So I'm just saying it's not just about their performance in the leagues, but their performance in the Champions League. And Benfica, on the other hand, have a performance in the league, but they don't have a performance in the Champions League as well. So it tells you that they're also looking for a performance in the Champions League. And you need a game, like I said, against Southampton and Man City. You need a game to turn things around. Even if you don't get the 3 points, you just need a game to turn things around. And I think this is just that game to turn things around for them.
Okay, let's see what happens. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, what's the contribution about?
From Gary.
Okay, what's the contribution about yesterday's game?
My brother, Liverpool get up. Because they are support our own person. The matter said they win because they play good football. Liverpool to win the match. I tell you, I said Madrid will lose a match. Look at it. 3-1. They never see anything. Barcelona win them. They go here up. They don't see no proper cup.
Okay.
See my brother. Let me tell you. They will win Arsenal.
Okay.
Go play for a coupon. They will win Arsenal.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's get your prediction for PSG game and Atletico Madrid. Who wins?
Atletico winning 2-0.
PSG
PSG
2-1.
Okay, Benfica and Bayern Munich. Who wins?
Bayern 3-0.
Bayern wins 3-0. Draw
Draw.
for you. Okay, let's move on to another English club. Is Club Brugge. Aston Villa is moving away to Club Brugge. But if you look at Aston Villa, they have played 3 and won 3 in this Champions League. They are actually top of the league, even though they have played less games. Okay, they are not top of the league yet.
No, they're not top of the league.
It's Liverpool is top of the league now. But if you look at what Aston Villa has been doing, that's playing against Club Brugge. So everybody expecting them to win. Do you expect them to win that game?
They'll be without John Duran, but irrespective, I think they win.
John Duran is not the starting. He comes in off the bench to get the goal. That's if they're not winning the games. But if they're winning the game, then I don't think he's coming in to add anything to the team. So I'm thinking they're winning this game from the beginning of the game. From the first whistle, is a win for Aston Villa.
Okay, so then Vesta versus Barcelona. Let's get your prediction for that game.
7-0.
Thank God you laughed at it. It's a joke right now. It's a joke right now. I think it's a draw.
Till it becomes
1-1 draw.
till it becomes a reality.
Because you are playing a highlight to score goals. These people might be sitting
Till
deep.
it becomes a reality, you know.
No,
Everything is a joke until it hits you in the face.
Let's take this
They will sit deep
final.
and
Straight
expect
up.
you to play your full line.
Let's take this
why
final
they
call
sit
before
deep?
we get other predictions. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay. Well, what is your contribution about yesterday's game?
Yesterday game was surprising to me, but I'm happy that my United fans have been deceived now. So they did not allow me to rest yesterday that their new coach is not good. But after the good stuff now, maybe we lose out of 3 months. They still let us start here. So my United will be struggling for something to say that they will be the first people to start people in one season. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's
But
get
your
your
team
prediction.
don't do am.
Okay, he's saying that Barcelona will win. He's saying that it's a draw. Okay, our own very own Lookman is playing today. They are going to play going away to Stuttgart. So what do you expect Lookman to score? You know, we say Boniface to score. Boniface no see goal score, but Lookman is going to be the
Lookman
African
is
best.
another beast. Lookman is on the Ballon d'Or list, so Lookman to get to go today. Hopefully they win.
Hopefully they win. What's the operation for that game? Stuttgart versus Atlanta.
Atlanta edging it out 2-1.
Nonso?
Result for Germany they had though. Results I just had in Germany, so I'm just going to stick with a draw in this one as well.
Okay, let's talk about Feyenoord versus Salzburg. What's the operation for that game?
Salzburg winning it 2-0.
This is the first. They have lost the first 3 games,
Yeah.
so they are going to win away
All
from
you need
home.
is one game to turn things around.
Oh wow!
When I said that about the other team, you felt like you want to crucify me. But Feyenoord continues with their winning streak against the Germans, against the what's it called, Salzburg.
Okay, the final prediction for we need to get is Sparta Prague versus Brest.
Brest winning it.
You know, they've won many games this season, but they'll continue, and this is not the game they continue. I think they'll just have to play a draw in this one, settle it for a draw. Why Feyenoord wins their match?
Okay, the top scorer of the Champions League this season is Jonathan David. Yeah, with 6 goals, actually doing well. But if you look at the league table, the Champions League table, sometimes when you talk about the league table in the Champions League, is somehow, but we are still doing the league table in the Champions League. So if you look at the league table, it's Liverpool stay after 4 games with 12 points. They played 4 and won 4. Sporting Lisbon is second with 7 points. Monaco is third with 10 points. Dortmund is fourth with 9 points. Other games, Man City is sixth. If you look at where Real Madrid is, they have to look out for Real Madrid because
you did.
I'm moving down.
You did.
Real Madrid
did
is
before you find Real
17th.
Madrid.
They have 6 points, and I think just 3 or 4 more games to go.
4 more games to go.
So they need to pick up points, or else it's going to be difficult for them to even reach the knockout stage. Even if they reach the knockout stage, you have to probably play in the Manchester City.
They're still in knockout phase so far.
So let's see
what
what.
knockout phase. There's Barcelona, there's Benfica, there's Milan, there's everybody.
And
there.
that's where it now
And that
becomes
is where the tournament starts. for
That's
Real
where it
Madrid.
becomes a slugfest.
That's
What
where
if
it
you do at
starts.
Barcelona and they do the same thing all
That is
over
where the
again and you're
tournament
out?
starts for Real Madrid.
Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in today's Champions League. Let's hope that it gives us a whole lot of goals like yesterday. Arsenal is playing, Bayern Munich is playing, all the big boys, Barcelona is playing. So John is expecting 7-0 from Barcelona. So let's see if it happens today. This is how we are going to end today's show. Thank you for all the calls. Thank you for those that join us on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live every day, Monday to Saturday on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live every day at Vote FM Sports. When you go there, drop your comments. I'll be reading your comments. Let's interact there. Watch us talk football. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Godwin, and have a beautiful Champions League day. Have a lovely day. Okay, before we go, we have one more comment. Daniel is Daniel is replying someone there. Daniel, welcome to the show. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. You can drop your comments when we come here live here 8 a.m. tomorrow here at Vote FM Sport. See you tomorrow.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a breath and enjoy the show.
Now Alex Iwobi gets the ball down to the left-hand side.